what had happened to me. I was so embarrassed. I did not know really what was happening. I never knew. There was no mental health awareness in my life. Nothing at all. And but I just thought that I was normal. I never knew what was wrong with me. So I went back. I was a common church goer. I was into singing in the church, into so many activities, and I got back to normal. Though I couldn't even read properly, I would be a lecturer in church. My words used to be slurred, and I was very slow now, not active like I was before. People would wonder. But yet I went back to my normal activities. And I said, there's nothing wrong with me. What is happening? Just the drowsiness. And this doctor used to call me every month to his private clinic. And he said, you have to come every month over here. I started going again there in the morning at 7. We would go on a hungry stomach, and I would have to stand in a line. All these things would happen, and there would be something injected again. I would go unconscious, and I would come out so drowsy, and my husband had to almost hold me and take me back home with severe pain in my hand for so many days, about 2-3 days, and severe headache. And I started thinking, what is going on? And then the doctor started reducing my medication too, because I told him, I'm so sleepy throughout the day, I cannot work at home. And this went on for some months, but he would reduce my medication each time. After that, I started getting off the drowsiness, and I started thinking more like before. That's the time I started asking questions to my husband, who would ignore me. And he started telling me, if you don't shut up and if you talk too much, I'll put you back in the hospital. And that was a big fear for me, to go back to that prison. Again, I just started watching what was happening in this doctor's clinic. First of all, it was very embarrassing for me. One day, my brother-in-law came out with us because my husband was sick and he drove the car. So I was so embarrassed. When I used to look at these patients, I would feel like, I'm nothing like them. It's so embarrassing to be here with them and to do all. And I started observing what was happening in the clinic. My husband never told me what was being given to me. He would just ignore my question. And then I questioned the doctor one day. The doctor would never talk to me much. He would only say, hello Suzette, the heroine of Kalina has come, the tigress of Kalina has come here. Because, he knew I was a very assertive person. And this is how he used to address me. And he hardly, 2 or 3 times he checked my weight and pressure, that's all, nothing. And then when I used to go for this injection and whatever, my husband would be talking to him, I don't know what. And one fine day when I asked him, doctor, what is happening to me? What is this injection you're giving me? He said, see, actually, you have some chemical imbalance, and that's why you get angry and suspicious. So we are giving you we are doing some blood tests on you. There will be about 8 to 9 tests being done, and after that, we're going to give you I said, where are the reports? Okay, we'll give you all the reports together because we are doing a study on it. So I believed it. Then I started observing. Every patient was being given the same thing, and I was just observing what was happening in that clinic. And this clinic is packed every morning. Then I told the doctor, sorry, I observed that. I said, doctor, if it is a blood test, why is no blood coming out? There's only a white fluid going in. And this injection was being given by his mother and wife. He told me then, no, actually, when the liquid goes in, you go unconscious, and then we remove the blood out. And I said, again after that I told him, I said, but I don't think any blood test, with any blood test a person gets unconscious. Why is it that I'm getting unconscious? Again he told me, no, this is a different type of a blood test, so you're getting unconscious. Now what more I could do? I just shut up and I went on with this thing which was going on. It went on for 2 years. First he used to do it every month, and then every 3 months, and every 6 months, and then I don't know. I don't have any reports today about his private treatment. But one thing is that after 2 years, I left this thing. I told my husband, nothing doing. I'm not going to go to this doctor anymore. I'm going to a Catholic hospital like Holy Family or something. I'm going to visit the doctor. So I went ahead. My husband was not interested in this, but I went ahead. I said, enough, you're not telling me what this is going on. I'm just going away. And then when I went to this doctor, he was very reluctant. He's saying, no, he's not giving us much time to talk or whatever. I said, you talk whatever you want. He never spoke a word when he came with me. And this doctor also never asked me for any of the reports. But I just told him that, I had a little extra anger and all, and this is what, Olemet 5, Olemet 10 or Olemet 5. So he could just continue with the medicine, reducing the dosage. That went on for another 1 year, but none of these injections were given there to me. In between, one day, my husband took the file and went alone without my knowledge. And one fine day when I met this doctor, he's saying, did you take this Resveratrol 200? I said, no, I don't know about this medicine. Then it was written there that my husband had come and he told him that I was getting auditory hallucinations, I was suspicious and I was quarrelsome quite often. This is what I never knew and I never used to do. Even then, I never doubted my husband. I was just, keeping quiet and trusting him. I never ever had a doubt that this was all a planning for a divorce. I never knew it. Until I went on for 3 years, say like from 2004 till 2007, early 7, when I stopped these medications on my own. Because I was doing some course and I was so drowsy during the class, I just stopped it in between, and then I used to say that there's nothing, whether I have the medicine or I don't have the medicine, there's no difference in my life. So I said I should put a stop to it. Being a naturopath, I did not like it, and I just wanted to, I was just learning my own body and my own mind and the medicines together with all this. And then I stopped the medicines. And after 3 months, I visited this Holy Family doctor. He said it's okay, but if there's any SOS, you can come back to me. Fine. After that, in July 2007, in May actually, my husband wrote a letter for divorce. Before that, he was acting a lot funny with me and lots of problems. Emotionally, I was harassed for around 3 years, which I tolerated. I never knew his idea was divorce. Ultimately, 2007, July, the divorce came up, saying that I am mentally ill. He would want the custody of the 2 sons, etc., etc. And he got the best lawyer in Bombay, and I was searching a lawyer. I have never worked after marriage. And then I got some lawyer, and the case has started. The thing is that in the court, I actually bumped into Seher, which is was part of Bapu Trust. And then I told them I need justice for what has been done to me. I went also to a local doctor in Bombay who asked me whether I was being given ECTs. I said, I don't know what is ECTs. I don't know, nobody has told me about it. And then he said, must be, we'll just try to get your reports from Masina. And when he called up this doctor talked to him about every other patient but me. When I went to Masina personally, he told me, you tell this doctor to call me up. He never wanted to give me the papers. And everything from home was taken away. Be it the agreement of my flat, the flat is, I'm still staying in that flat, it's on joint name, or the ration card, or my passport, or be it the medical papers. Nothing was at home. And the fact is that when I got to know Seher, after that I got to know Bhargavi, I went for their workshops, I felt horrible because I started learning about this mental health and meeting all the other psychiatric patients and all. I said, I'm nothing like them, no symptoms at all. And then in my court papers, I got to know that he had lied to the doctors that I was hallucinating. And the doctors believed him because they never talked to me. They only talked to him most of the times. And that was one thing. The other thing is that I got to meeting counselors in the court and meeting so many people where I decided to do my postgraduate diploma in human rights, which I just finished and got my result this year. In the course of this study, I did a thesis on violations in the mental health field because of my own human rights violations. And the first thing is that I did some field work, which I would like to share with you all, a little bit of it. Just now Dr. Alok spoke so much about the hospitals, which I fully agree. And I've just done a study this year. Even last month I went to certain hospitals, that's last year. And not much has changed really. And the main thing is that there's so much of, they don't allow you in at all. So that's one thing that they're very strict about. But they're not strict about so many things that they have to monitor actually in the hospitals. That's the first thing. Being a human rights person, we had to visit the jails also. So I feel that the jails are far more better than mental hospitals. Because I've noticed that in a jail, they are at least given wages for what work they do. Mental hospitals, the people are made to work, and they are making profit out of what they are doing. They sell their things, but most of them are not paid. Most of the times, the people are not paid at all. Besides, today somebody is speaking about the hair being cut very short, human rights violations, hysterectomy is still happening, amenorrhea is still happening because of the drug side effects. And there are so many things happening which are, I'm talking about women. I recently went to Dharwad Mental Hospital where there are so many wandering lunatics. They've forgotten their names, and these people have no time even to give them a good name. They're calling